Good morning, viewer. Dear listener, yes, breaking news. Yes, elections are the heartbeat of a democracy. When India became independent, skeptics thought a poor and illiterate nation would fail to keep democracy alive. Academics have highlighted that democracies survive in wealthy societies. India broke this trend. Of all the countries that became decolonized, only a handful remained democratic. Six are small nations: Iceland states, Mauritius, Belize, Jamaica, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, and Vanuatu. India is the only outlier which has remained steadfast on the course of democracy apart from the 18-month emergency period in the 1970s. India's democratic journey started at a turbulent time when the farmers of our constitution decided that all Indians would have the right to vote. The country was going through a painful partition. It was challenging to stir the voter enrollment processes during the upheaval. Still, it was necessary so that everyone could exercise their franchise when it was time for the country's first general elections. After that, the commitment to timely polls and the smooth handover of power has led to the rooting of democratic ethos in our country. Our constitution entrusts the election commissions of India with conducting the polls to elect the members of the Lok Sabha and the state legislative assemblies. Over the years, Asia has taken numerous measures to ensure free and fair elections. Some of them have been simple. For example, from the first general elections until today, polling officials apply indelible ink on voters' fingers to prevent impersonation. It has also embraced technology, launching an app that allows citizens to report poll code violations in recent years. But the institution's first significant foray into using technology to safeguard the voting process was the introduction of the electronic voting machine. Shamlal Sakdhar, who was Chief Election Commission between 1977 and 1982, dropped ECI's shift from ballot paper and boxes to EVMs. Several reasons could have prompted the change. Sakdhar retired from the most senior position in the Lok Sabha Secretariat when the government appointed him CEC in June 1997. During his long tenure in the Lok Sabha, he had seen electronic voting in House proceedings from the late 1950s. He might have thought such a process could be helpful in general election. Then there was the real problem of booth capturing. Armed men storming a polling booth and stuffing the ballot box with votes favoring a particular candidate. In the 1977 general elections, 29 parliamentary constituencies had booths where forcibly ballot paper stuffing was reported from. There was also another wild but high profile allegation against the ballot paper. When Raj Narayan lost the 1971 Raebareli election to then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, he alleged that the ballot paper used in the election was chemically treated. According to him, this treatment ensured that the ballot papers on which voters made a mark on his favor disappeared. An invisible mark made at the time of printing before the name of Indira Gandhi appeared when counting took place. The count eventually dismissed this allegation. The systems had other problems. The box and paper apparatus was a logistical nightmare. A ballot paper for which voter had to be printed before every election. The steel boxes, which were a one-time cost, required regular maintenance such as anti-corrosion treatment and painting. This factor may have weighed on Sakdhar's mind towards the end of 1977 when he visited the Electronic Corporation of India in Hyderabad. He urged ECIL, a government enterprise, to explore using electronic gadgets in electronics called the elections. In 1980, the engineers at ECIL delivered a prototype of a simple electronic voting machine. The machine used a mains power supply with 6 buttons connected to 6 chips, each button corresponding to the candidate in an election, and pressing the button recorded the vote against the candidate on the corresponding chip. Before voting began, election officials could also show the party representatives that the voting machine had no ballots recorded in its memory. The focus was on the voting machine, which recorded all the votes. The ECIL design linked the voting machine to control mechanism placed in front of the election officials. This mechanism ensured that a voter could not cast multiply votes and had a display showing the total number of votes. This is the main history today's EVM, electronic voting machine, BNS exclusive report.